Only two things can get you through this, man. That's patience and persistence. We all aspire, we all have the same emotions. You know, no matter who you are, where you're from, we all have the same emotions. You know, we all want to be successful. You know, we all have the same fears of failure. We all have feelings of abandonment. We all, you know, want love. You have to have such a strong belief in yourself that you can quiet out all the outside noise, because you're gonna need that on every step of the way. You know, there are people that are projecting their fears and their shortcomings and failures on you. And you have to be very careful, you know, with that. People telling you can't do that. Why can't I? You know, because they may have tried, or they don't believe that they can do it. And it's not really about you, it's about what they feel and their fear inside. So you have to be strong enough and resilient to believe in whatever it is you're trying to do. Every human being has genius level talent. There are no chosen one. God is giving every single person genius level talent. You just have to find what it is that you're great at and then tap into it. First of all, I'm always, I'm constantly curious and always trying to evolve as a human being, right? That's one thing, trying to learn myself and learn my faults and learn the things I don't like and learn, you know, whatever insecurities that we have as human beings. People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same, like you're doing all this for a reason. And what happens most of the time, people change. People change around you because they start treating you different because of your success. So you are changing. You don't change who you are, the core of who you are, the things you believe, the things you love, and the things you die for, and your principles. You don't change that, but you're going to change who you are. You're going to change. You know, you can't do the same things. You can't hang on the corner. Some people may not be comfortable with that. I'm not really concerned with noise because I'm playing for a long game. I see 10 years down the road. Every now and again, I step outside of myself and I just look at my life objectively. Sometimes I find myself saying, who is that dude right there? Like, if you'd have told me 20 years ago that my life would be like this, I'm not sure I would have believed you. I heard people say I'm the luckiest man on the planet. I like to think I stay ready. A wise man once told me luck isn't some mystical energy that dances around the universe, randomly bestowing people with satisfaction and joy. You create your own luck. My uncle, he was telling me, like, my uncle said I never sold 1 million records. I sold 1 million records like 1 million times. Are you crazy? How are you gonna do that? How? You know, I'm sure there's things that I do now that he can't believe that I was able to accomplish. But he couldn't even see it at the time. So he was just projecting, putting his fears on me. Right? How do you arrive at that point? You gotta also look at that. You have to look at that. You gotta look at the environments and places we live in and how things are set up and how things are structured and how we're always the last on the totem pole, even from our schooling to our roads to, you know, everything that all the obstacles that's placed in front of us, even our living conditions. You live in a project, someone lives here, 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 and here. You know, you have to deal with all these different type of personalities. You're in the box, someone's above you, below you, to the right of you, and to the left of you. And every day you have to manage that circle. So, that's like living dormant. Life is about balance, right? You have to have some type of balance. You have like time for work and it's time for play. And if you don't allow these two things to coexist, you have an imbalance. But it's not simple to do with all the pressures to succeed and all the pressures to, once you succeed, to stay there. You have a belief in yourself, and sometimes, in most cases, it's a naivete about who you are and what you can contribute to the game. Belief in oneself and knowing who you are, I mean, that's the foundation of everything great. The truth about talent is, first, that it's God-given. When you want to unleash that talent, your mind lets it go, you know, because it's there. You have to have the belief that when you draw from that well of talent, that it's going to be there. You have to have that belief that when you go into the basket, no one that's on that court can stop you. That's an individual thing. I'm not going to let anybody speed up my process. I don't care what's happening out there. That's the great thing about, you know, having ultimate confidence in yourself is it doesn't matter what's happening. I don't care what's happening. I don't care what you on, or this person's on. This is what I like. They have that thing that, you know, that belief that you can only do one thing. You know, we don't have that. We're not inflicted with that disease. I personally don't believe anybody could stop me. I really, that's just how I believe. And it was gonna be, I was coming. I was destined to be here, and it just is what it is. My mom bought me my first boombox, and my mom's friend bought me my first notebook. It was like this makeshift notebook of papers with no line. It was a green book with these little pins that you bend down on each side. And when I first started making music, that's when I first realized that, you know, I was tapping into an emotion, and I knew there was small pockets of people all across the country that I spoke to directly, but I didn't have the vehicle to get to them. You know, I didn't have a record label at the time, so I tried to get a record deal, and I couldn't get a record deal. The record company would be my bridge to them, and they didn't give me that bridge. So it was a very important part of my career that we didn't give up right there, that belief in myself and belief that I had something to offer. So we built our own bridge, and, you know, I started my own record company. I had a really outside dream of being a millionaire by the time I was 30 years old. I actually calculated what it would take and all these different things, and I had no idea, I had no plan of how I was gonna arrive at this point, other than this very distant outside chance of being a basketball player, which was very far, because I never played any organized sports. I never really played on a team. Back then, that opportunity was very limited because rap wasn't what it is today. And my small circle of friends would say these stories, right? These short stories. So it was a hobby for everybody, I think. I remember the first time seeing Sugar Hill on Soul Train. I was like, what are they doing on there? It was like shocking to me. Like, why are they on TV? Like, for doing that. As an artist, if you ain't inspired to work, then you start thinking. Once you start thinking, you start forcing music. It's never good. My feeling is, whenever inspiration don't find you, you have to find it. And I wish I could say we were geniuses and said we're gonna start our own company. You know, that's not what happened. You know, in the beginning, we went to every single label, and every single label shut their door on us. The genius thing that we did was we didn't give up. We didn't say, because these guys, you know, we use that what do they know approach. You know, we didn't give up at that point. I think that, you know, that was the genius thing we did. We started selling our own CDs, and we built our own buzz, and then the record company came back to us. So now we had a different negotiation. You know, it wasn't the same artist label relationship. Now we retain ownership in our own company, and it was the best thing for us. Discipline as well, the discipline to not get caught up in the moment. You know, music is like stocks too. You know, there's the hot thing of the moment. You know, there's this hot electro sound, or the hot auto-tune voice, or the hot whatever's new and exciting. And you know, people tend to make emotional decisions based on that. They don't stick with what they know. This is who I am. This is what I do. And then they, you know, jump on this next hot thing, and you know, it's not for you. So for me, just having the discipline and having the confidence that in who I am, you know, and if I go into a studio and if I find my truth of the moment, there are a number of people in the world that can relate to what I'm saying, and it's gonna buy into what I'm doing. You know, not because it's the new thing of the moment, but because it's my genuine emotions. It's how I feel. It's how I articulate the world. He just affirmed to me that instincts is really important in business. You know, I didn't go to any proper business school or any read any follow any manuals like the Record Business 101 or anything like that. I just pretty much followed my instincts. And he just reaffirmed that for me, that, you know, your instincts are very important to you.